Hello everyone and welcome to this breaking news alert from Ignition Time. Remember, you heard it first on our channel, the Ignition Time channel. This channel is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. Now this is breaking news. James Fishback is a CEO and an investor. He had a conference in Arizona that President Trump attended back in December. And he's proposing something called a DOGE dividend. Basically, he's suggesting, and I'll break down his suggestion and why it's so important, because Elon Musk actually responded to James and said that he's actually going to talk to the president about this. So this is what's important. This is what James Fishback says, and I'll give you more details about this in this video. So make sure you watch this video all the way through to the end. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. This is what James said. He said, American taxpayers deserve a DOGE dividend. 20% of the money that DOGE saves, and at this point, it looks like DOGE might save $2 trillion. So 20% of the money that DOGE saves should actually be sent back to hardworking Americans, should be sent back to American taxpayers as a tax refund check. And again, James, breaks down the fact that, it's our money in the first place. And he says if there's $2 trillion in DOGE savings, we're talking about 78 million tax-paying households. So if $400 billion was distributed to 78 million American households, that would be a $5,000 refund check per household in America. And the remaining could be used to pay down the national debt. Let's actually hear from James in his own words about this DOGE dividend, and then I'll break down the proposal in an actual detailed document that we have access to here at Ignition Time. Let's hear James talk about this in his own words. And Elon Musk, like I said, has actually responded to James and said, this is something that he's going to talk to the president about. So James says, hey, let's do this. And this is how we rebuild trust in government. So again, Elon Musk has announced he'll talk to President Trump about this proposal, about potentially giving the American people a DOGE dividend. And again, this would be a tax refund check that would go to Americans based on the savings that have been created as a direct result of DOGE. And again, James Fishback came up with this proposal and Elon Musk loved it. We're actually going to break down the entire proposal and I'm going to show it to you next. But first, let's hear from James in his own words. Let's take a look.
DOGE is having an incredible couple of weeks under President Trump's leadership and Elon Musk's execution. But here's what we have to do to take this mission one step further. 80% of the DOGE money saved needs to go to paying down the national debt, and the other 20% needs to go right back to the same people who sent it to DC in the first place, taxpayers like you and me. DOGE is set to save $2 trillion over the next 2 years. There are 78 million tax-paying households in America. That means that $25,000 per household is what's being saved by DOGE. 20,000 of that goes towards the national debt, and the other 5,000 needs to go right back to households in the form of a DOGE dividend, a check saying that the federal government misused your funds, we abused them, we sent it to the transgender opera in Colombia, we did not do right by you, and now it is the beginning of earning public trust. Just like a company has a money-back guarantee on a product that doesn't necessarily fit its description, our tax dollars were supposed to be used for America, not for other countries. DOGE uncovered the waste, fraud, and abuse, the absolute egregious use of funds. Now it's time to refund those tax payments back to the people. Use it to pay down the national debt. That's how President Trump and Elon take the DOGE mission full circle, and it's just icing on the cake.
So for our viewers and subscribers at Ignition Time, that was James. Now let's take a much closer look at James's proposal, and I'm going to do a deep dive into the actual proposal and walk through the DOGE dividend proposal with you. This could potentially be a $5,000 stimulus check for every single household in America, because Elon Musk is going to talk to the president about this. This has been confirmed. And again, you heard it first here on Ignition Time. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. My name is Dr. Chhoda. I'm your citizen journalist. I work very hard It's actually late at night right now at the time I'm recording this video, and I'm bringing this news to you immediately. And you heard it first here on Ignition Time. This is going to be all over YouTube. This is going to be all over news channels, but you heard it first here on Ignition Time. So please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. Now, let's take a closer look at this proposal for the $5,000 DOGE dividend stimulus check. I'm going to break down the entire proposal for you right now. Here we go. So that was James, and now let's actually take a look at the case for the DOGE dividend from James Fishback. He says, few in America know precisely what to expect from DOGE. The early perceived turbulence around leadership, the uncertainty around legal structure, and the lack of precedent for such a bold initiative created a sense of show me with DOGE. Just a month into President Trump's second term, DOGE is delivering. Full stop. With DOGE reportedly achieving $1 billion in savings per day, President Trump has an opportunity to work with Congress to take DOGE one step further and deliver what we at Azoria call the DOGE dividend, a tax refund check to be sent after the expiration of DOGE in July 2026, funded exclusively with a portion of the total savings delivered by DOGE. Here's how President Trump's DOGE dividend works. DOGE is targeting $2 trillion in total savings. Take 20% of DOGE's total savings, which is $400 billion, and return it to 79 million American households that will be net payers of federal income tax in the calendar year 2025 as a tax refund check called the DOGE dividend. $400 billion in DOGE-driven savings divided by 79 million tax-paying households will equal a $5,000 DOGE dividend check per tax-paying household. Now, the benefits of President Trump's DOGE dividend, which we explore in more detail below, are as follows. Compensates American taxpayers for the egregious misuse and abuse of their hard-earned tax dollars that DOGE has uncovered. Shares the benefits of DOGE's cost savings with American taxpayers, incentivizing them to report instances of waste, fraud, and abuse to DOGE, which increases the total amount DOGE saves and increases the size of their DOGE dividend check. President Trump's DOGE dividend works to restore public trust between taxpayers and their government, making good on the social contract and increasing tax morale. The conditional nature of the tax refund, available only to payers of federal income tax in 2025, incentivizes labor force participation because only net payers of federal income tax in 2025 are eligible to receive President Trump's DOGE dividend. Now, James also highlights benefits. The first benefit is the value of restitution, righting the wrong done to the taxpayer. While roads and bridges in the American heartland crumbled and countless veterans were denied health care, USAID used taxpayer dollars to feed Al-Qaeda-affiliated fighters in Syria, finance electric vehicles in Vietnam, and fund sex changes in Guatemala. Taxation is an implied bilateral contract between taxpayer and government. Taxpayers work hard and pay their taxes, and in exchange, government renders services with accountability, honesty, and fairness. American taxpayers held up their end of the bargain, but as DOGE has exposed, the federal government did not, effectively breaching its implied contract with 79 million tax-paying households throughout the United States. When a breach of this magnitude happens in the private sector, the counterparty, at minimum, refunds the customer since they failed to deliver what was promised. It's high time for the federal government to do the same and refund money back to taxpayers given what DOGE has uncovered. Benefit number 2, sharing the benefits of cost cutting with the taxpayer. President Trump's DOGE dividend creates a mechanism to cut the taxpayer in on the benefits of spending cuts. By pre-committing to pay out a specified percentage of savings, that's 20%, taxpayers now benefit directly from spending cuts. With the DOGE dividend, every taxpaying American now stands to benefit from DOGE. As such, they have every incentive to report every instance of government waste, fraud, and abuse that they encounter. This incentive will massively increase the surface area for DOGE to find opportunities to cut costs, further driving up DOGE's total savings and, in turn, the size of President Trump's DOGE dividend for taxpayers. Benefit number 3, boost tax morale. President Trump's DOGE dividend can work to increase tax receipts by boosting tax morale. Tax morale in the political science literature is a measure of taxation sentiment, whether taxpayers feel they are receiving adequate value in exchange for their tax payments. The literature has found that tax morale is directly linked to public trust in public-facing, output government organizations that implement and deliver public goods to the citizenry. This basically means for our viewers at Ignition Time that people will be more incentivized to pay taxes and have more trust in the government. The federal government has undermined this trust by neglecting American citizens at home and funding boondoggles in distant lands instead. President Trump has a historic opportunity to restore this trust by refunding taxpayers for the breach of contract perpetrated against them. Benefit number 4, incentivizing 2025 labor force participation. Finally, President Trump's DOGE dividend will work to increase labor force participation by requiring individuals to be net taxpayers of federal income tax to be eligible to receive their DOGE dividend check. As just one example, 7 million working age men in America are neither working nor looking for work. The prospect of a $5,000 DOGE dividend in 2026 will incentivize many to re-enter the labor force in 2025 in order to be eligible for the DOGE dividend. Low labor force participation is throttling US economic growth, and the DOGE dividend will provide a powerful incentive to begin reversing this trend on the margins. So let's examine some questions from this document. Question number 1, wouldn't this be inflationary? In other words, won't it raise costs? And according to Azoria, no, for 2 important reasons. DOGE dividend checks are exclusively funded with DOGE-driven savings, unlike COVID stimulus checks, which were financed by deficits. DOGE dividend checks are sent only to tax-paying householders who have a demonstrated propensity to save, not spend the incremental dollar received. The DOGE dividend is different from past stimulus checks because only tax-paying households receive it. Tax-paying households are more likely to save, not spend a transfer payment like the DOGE dividend, as consumption is a lower share of their income. In fact, according to a 2019 CNBC survey, 7 out of 10, that's 71% of Americans who unexpectedly receive a $5,000 bonus would either pay off debt, save it for short-term expenditures or emergencies, or invest in long-term goals like college or retirement. There is nothing inflationary about paying off debt, saving for emergencies, or investing in college or retirement. In fact, debt paydowns are actually deflationary. And finally, won't the DOGE dividend increase the deficit? No, for 2 reasons. Number 1, President Trump's DOGE dividend is contingent on spending cuts. It is truly a tax refund in the most literal sense. It is financed exclusively via spending cuts. Since Azoria's plan calls for paying out 20% of the savings DOGE identifies, with the rest used to pay down the national debt, the value of spending cuts must exceed the value of President Trump's DOGE dividend payouts by a factor of 5. Medium term, President Trump's DOGE dividend can actually drive up tax receipts by increasing tax morale and restoring trust between taxpayers and their government, which means more people may end up working in 2025, and this could mean more tax revenue for the government. Let me know what you think about the entire concept of the DOGE dividend in the comments section below. So that's it, everyone. That was the entire DOGE dividend proposal, the $5,000 stimulus check proposal. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Again, please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to our subscribers knowing more about this, hopefully getting this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And again, as always, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. So that's it, everyone. Let me know what you thought of this breaking news. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with the Ignition Time channel. Let me know what you thought of this news. Pretty big changes coming up for the country with this announcement. And I'm your citizen journalist. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda, and I'm looking forward to keeping you updated with all this kind of news on our channel. So again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thank you. Bye.